Hey up everyone, so some very exciting stuff came out yesterday. Japanese player and Reddit user Mega Man EXE4 was somehow able to gain access to a small portion of the new content from the House of Wolves expansion. He was able to view some of the new missions, as well as the new gear that's going to be on sale from the Vanguard and Crucible vendors. But before I get to all that, Bungie's community manager Deej actually responded to the post, and so I'm just going to read out what he said. Wow, pretty armour and stuff. I'd like to share here what I posted on Bungie.net. I know that rampant speculation will burn for a while on this topic. As you enjoy your conversation about the pearls of information that can be lifted from this, please bear a few things in mind. 1. Aside from giving it a name, Bungie has yet to reveal the House of Wolves. That means that anything you know about it can change. We have a team working on the experience in their own fancy room, and they have some exciting surprises up their sleeves. 2. We reserve the rights to overwrite anything you're looking at right now. These placeholder items enable us to save room on your drive for actual future updates. You'll all download them before it's time to play. 3. Any stats or assumptions about power or impact or handsomeness are months old, and do not reflect the things that we are doing to adapt to what you've taught us about Destiny. There is a process here, and you're a part of it. Leaks are fun, I totally get it. Please discuss to your heart's content. All we ask is that you leave your mind open to the evolutions that are inevitable. What you see here are very old ghosts from our pre-launch database. These are not necessarily the wolves you're looking for. So basically, a lot of the stuff that you're about to see in these images is pretty outdated, although I can't imagine there'll be any major changes between what we see here and the final product. In Mega Man's post, he said that analysis of the small portion of the game he was able to access revealed that the House of Wolves will be released on May 19th, which is a month later than originally expected. He goes on to say that he believes the 1.0.9 patch will be released within the next 4 weeks, and that there is a small chunk of content set to release during March, which will be addressed by a hotfix. Keep in mind that none of this is official, and most of it is just speculation, so don't take any of this as fact. Now, according to these images, the Nightfall Strike will be bumped up to level 32, and there'll be a new Strike playlist available called Dragon. It also seems the House of Wolves raid, which is currently labelled the Arena for some reason, will have modifiers. This is either one way Bungie plan to make the raid a bit more of a challenge, or as some have speculated, it could perhaps be some sort of survival mode, given the name is Arena. Or it could be both, we don't know. As I said, a lot of this stuff has yet to be updated, and none of it is set in stone. This image here also shows that the new Vanguard and Crucible gear maxes out at 39 light, which with a full set of gear equipped will take you to level 33, meaning that Crota's End raid gear becomes redundant. Now hopefully this isn't the case and just outdated information, as Luke Smith from Bungie did actually address some of the players' biggest gripes about raid gear, and are planning to do things a bit differently in the House of Wolves. Now, I mentioned earlier that the House of Wolves is set to release about a month later than originally expected, and a lot of people seem to be upset by this, but I'm actually happy. It's actually a good thing because it could give Bungie more time to develop and test the House of Wolves before it releases. Anyway, that is it for all the details. Now let's move on to what you actually came here to see, the new Vanguard and Crucible vendor gear. As you can see, some of these armor sets still use the same icons as the original stock that was on sale before the Dark Below was released and replaced all the gear at the vendors. Now I've got to say, I'm really liking the look of this new armor, especially the Warlock and Hunter gear. The aesthetics, the colour scheme, the pattern, it looks amazing, and even the blood splatters on the Hunter armor, it looks top. The Titan gear kinda looks more like a soldier. The Warlock looks like some sort of space trooper, and the Hunter armour, or at least the Hunter helmet, reminds me of Noble 6 from Halo Reach. As you'll see later in the video, the vendor weapons seem to be a lot better as well. We'll be seeing the return of high impact auto rifles, hand cannons with magazines above 10 rounds, and pulse rifles with very high impact. One thing I'd like to shed a bit of light on, no pun intended, is that on the side of the new Crucible weapons, the name Union is stamped on the side, and some people have been speculating that this is a new faction. However, what I think is a more likely explanation is that either this is a weapon manufacturer similar to Soros, or Tex Mechanica, or Crux Lomar, or the other possibility is that this is a reference to the Consensus, as in the Union of the Consensus, which, for those who don't know, is a group that governs the city. A little bit of lore for you here. The Consensus is the group that consists of the Speaker, the Vanguard Mentors, and other such characters, and they get final say in everything. For example, they are the ones who approved of the idea of the Crucible, and they are the ones who get to decide which factions get a spot in the tower. Just stuff like that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really looking forward to the House of Wolves, and seeing this has got me really excited. So I'm just going to let the video continue so you can see the rest of the new gear. But that is it for me. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new gear, as well as the rumoured release date. Thank you for watching. As always, your feedback is greatly appreciated, and I will talk to you in my next video.